What's up? What's up? What's going on, TheCoreofU family? It is Friday. We're right in the middle of October. Life is still going on. We're still dealing with this COVID and all of these things. The election is right around the corner.
Woo!
We hope that you are, if you haven't already, that you're registered or you will be registering real soon.
Please.
To make sure that you vote. It doesn't matter, what your opinion is and who you like or who you love or who you don't like. Just make sure you get out and vote. It's very, very important. All right. What's going on, Paul? Paul Taylor, what's going on, man? So today is our TheCoreofU Friday conversation. We're talking today about breakthroughs. Breakthroughs happen to us sort of in shifts in different seasons. At different times in our lives. Sometimes you are the catalyst maybe for your breakthrough. Sometimes you go through something that takes you to the next level of your breakthrough. Sometimes maybe it's God that's like, okay, it's time. You've been doing this for so long. Now it's time for you to move to your next level, whatever it is. So we're talking about breakthroughs today. And what inspired this for me was I read something the other day that was so profound that said God will take you from waiting on it to walking in it. God will take you from waiting on it to walking in it. And in that moment, in that time, in that space from you waiting on it until you get to the place where you're walking in it, there's a gap there. What do you do in that gap? What do you do? How do you stay strong? How do you stay hopeful? How do you stay faithful? How do you stay believing? How do you stay in it? And I wrote some little notes down in here, and it says one of the things that I wrote down that says that sometimes you'll spend more time waiting than you do receiving. Life will cause you to make you feel like that. I'm always waiting, and every once in a while, and I'm receiving, and that's okay. It's
and
what do you do?
Period all about wait right now. I mean,
yes, be patient.
Everything about life is as we know it has been put on hold.
No doubt.
And if you rush too quickly, the results could technically be fatal.
Yeah, and it's crazy because then sometimes you wait and you feel like you're waiting for so long, and then you get what you've been asking or wanting for, right? And so then you're happy and you rejoice, only to find yourself waiting for something else. So you get to that point where you're like, man, I'm here, I made it, I got it. And then you find yourself waiting for something else. So what we want to talk to you today about a little bit is, if you don't learn how to wait with joy and with patience and with goodness in your heart, if you don't learn how to wait the proper way, you will live in frustration. You will constantly live in frustration. So just getting you from waiting on it to walking on it, that's kind of what we're talking about today. Being patient, your breakthrough. And what is that? What is a breakthrough really? There's a technical definition, that like the military, they have a breakthrough.
Right.
It's like a forward movement, an advancement, right? That's a breakthrough. Something that's been there, that's holding you back, holding you down, stifling you, whatever it is, keeping you stagnant, and then you finally make it over that or through that. You break through that resistance. And that's a good feeling, right?
Yeah.
You emerge victorious, hopefully, from that resistance, something that's been holding you back. And a lot of times that's you. It's your ego. It's your pride. Your fear. Oh man, fear will definitely have us. What's the saying? It's paralysis by analysis. You're overthinking everything, right?
False evidence appearing real.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it's real in your mind, it's real in your body. It's real in your reality. So the battle is lost and won in the mind, and the breakthrough happens in the mind and in the spirit.
Yeah.
And
so that's what. So we're talking about. How can I keep living the life that I'm living now while waiting for the things that are in my heart, that things that I'm desiring? How can I still be successful in my now while I'm waiting for my tomorrow. You know what I mean? While I'm waiting for that blessing, that breakthrough, that thing that I've been praying for, or maybe I'm just working for. I'm saving up for whatever it is I'm doing. Maybe I'm preparing. Maybe I'm studying. Whatever it is that I'm doing to get to that next level. How can I still stay humble and have joy and peaceful?
Peaceful in the wait. Peaceful in the wait.
I like that. That's a word right there. So having peace in the wait. In the wait. While I'm waiting, can I still have peace? Because we get anxious. We get overly anxious, right? And so that takes away our peace. Because we're like, no, I want it now. What's that commercial? It's my money and I want it now. You're like, it's my blessing and I want it now. And God is saying, just hold up. Just hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. Because I'm going to give it to you. We're going to get there. And so for me, sometimes in my life, in my past, why this conversation is so passionate for me is because I missed out on a lot of joy trying to give birth to something outside of Him saying it's your time. Outside of Him saying.
So you were either premature and got ahead of the breakthrough, or you missed it altogether?
Well, I missed it altogether.
I'm sure. Yeah, I definitely been there. I mean, and that, I think knowing and having an awakening is half the battle, because then you know what it looks like. You know what it feels like. So if you have ever said, if I just would have took a little more time, or if I didn't force it my way, if you've ever said that, then you know what we're talking about.
No doubt.
Right?
No doubt.
Right?
So it's learning to enjoy where you are while you are waiting to get to where you want to be. I'll say that again. Learning to enjoy where you are while you are waiting to get to where you want to be. That's what we're talking about today. And it's so important because we're like, I know my breakthrough is coming. Weeping may endure for a night, joy gonna come in the morning. There's all these sayings, right? Oh, it's only temporary. It's only for a little while, or it's only a test. All of these things, but we don't often equip people and equip ourselves for that time of waiting.
Yeah, and I like that. We are trying to give you some tools tonight to equip yourself so that you can be patient and peaceful in the wait, because that's where we lose the battle. And what happens is, if you're on an energy level, like we can even take it outside of the Bible, or we're just talking about energetically. It's like if you put something out in the universe and you're working towards it, then in your moment of doubt or wait, you do something that completely contradicts and goes against the good energy you put out there. Now you've done what I call U-turn faith.
U-turn faith.
You basically, your own energy has contradicted itself.
And you have to be careful, because even, let's just look at it like this, right? Let's talk about when you were just carrying the children. Mm-hmm. If we would have went in and tried to pull them out before it was time for them to be birthed, there is a great chance. Not necessarily, but there's a great chance that they may not have lived.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They wouldn't have seen the light of day.
They wouldn't have seen it, and they wouldn't have fully developed. You know what I mean? So sometimes, sometimes that's what we do to our dreams, to our blessings, to the favor that God is. We get in there and we pull it out because we were made in His image and likeness. We have that ability sometimes, right? Then we get in there and we pull it out before it's matured, before it's developed, before it's ready. Catch this: we sometimes pull it out before we're ready. It's ready, but we're not. So we pull it out and then we get it. And then we're like, oh Lord, I don't know what to do with this blessing. You done blessed me with this new house, this new job, and I'm not prepared. My mind isn't ready. I don't know what to do. Crystal says 1 step at a time, baby steps. Music helps me be peaceful so I can stay focused and I stay prayerful. I love that. Wifey did a thing in her job this week talking about music and its universal approach, and how sometimes, a great one. How sometimes it'll just help keep you balanced a little bit.
Yeah, and what I like about that one is that because sometimes your mind can be so in a mix that you can't get to a prayer, or you not in the mood. Like if you're just not in the mood, but a song can get you there quick, which is why I guess before many services they have a praise team or something come break it up,
set the mood,
right? Because your mind. So I like having like a go-to song. For a minute, mine was a Tasha Cobbs song.
Tasha Cobbs,
some of yours can get me there, you know, and Danny.
And that's why we play a New Day from my sister Danielle before every session that we do, because that's kind of our song. It gets us in the mood, gets us ready, it gets us pumped. We already be excited, but it kind of sets the mood for us to come and to just talk and to just kick it with you guys for a few minutes on the Friday nights, as we've been doing for a little while now. And so it's been amazing. So let's get into it. So there are a few things that you can do during the wait, right? I call it the gap. It's really what it is. It's the gap. Going from who I am today to where I'm going to be tomorrow, or going from this level here to the next level. There's a gap there that many people don't discuss and don't talk about, because if you're not careful, you can lose yourself in that gap and it will cut you off from that blessing. By the time it's time for you to get to the next level, Sierra has that song, Level Up, Level Up, Level Up. You know what I mean? And it's a great song. It's so up-tempo. If you're not careful in that gap, you will lose yourself. And then by the time God is ready to bless you, or the universe is ready to bless you with it, you
move from that space.
You're
move
not
from
even
that
space
to be blessed.
You're not even there anymore. And he's like,
you can't receive your
now
mail.
You got to turn around and start all over again, because you can't even receive it. So there's a few things, and I think it's 5 that we wrote down. 5 things that you should do. One of the first things is this, which I think is most important in all things that we do, is make room for God. Make room for God. Make room for spirituality. Make room for prayer, for meditation. If it's music, as somebody said, music helps me stay at peace and balance my mind. Make room for God, right? It's so important that we make room for God in our lives. We pray as a family. Sometimes I leave in the morning early, and so the children are with her right now, and so they pray together. But when Saturdays, Sundays, when maybe my days off or whatever, we make sure that we do our best in the morning to pray as a family. And sometimes we let our children lead us in prayer.
Yeah. And what's beautiful is, like, I found myself under the weather this week, and I could turn to my baby and say, just say a prayer for mama.
No doubt. What's up, Rich? What's up, man? Glad you can join us, man. Yeah. It's so powerful to make room for God, to make room for him so that he can intercede and get in there and just direct your path. I think somebody said that earlier, baby steps. It's important that I make room for him so that he can guide my footsteps and lead me in the right way.
There it is. If it's all about ego, I'm making no room for God. One of the best statements, and hey, cousin Taja, you the bomb too. One of my best statements is, God, underwhelm my schedule so you can overwhelm my soul. So underwhelm my schedule so you can overwhelm my soul. So right now we are in a position where you don't have to make a lot of in-face commitments if you aren't in that space. We're not here in California. Every state is doing their own thing. Plus we're about to be in a weird position where we're going back into flu season mixed with COVID. So you know, you kind of need to pause on making too many quick moves. So it's a good time to, what are you feeling that extra commute time and all that other time that you're getting back with?
Yeah.
What are you filling it with? So this is a good place to fill it.
No doubt.
Make room for God.
Number two,
overcome your paralysis.
Wow. Fear, ego, pride. Sometimes it's just you. When you're getting ready to move to another level, you've been in a place where you've been comfortable for a time. Or maybe you started to get to a place where you're like, I'm getting uncomfortable. This just doesn't seem right, because it's time for you to go to the next level, right? And so when you get there, it takes you from comfortable to uncomfortable, or it takes you where you're getting uncomfortable because you know he's getting ready to do something great. So you have to make sure that you overcome that paralysis, because sometimes that uncomfortable feeling gets a hold of our emotions.
It makes you want to go back to what's familiar, but really that's the time to push forward into what you want to run from. It's the time to actually leap forward, or as the book Steve Harvey wrote said, jump. That's the time you want to jump, when you've gotten that momentum.
Yeah, and it's so important because sometimes we just get afraid. We just get afraid of I've seen people like, in school and stuff like that. They just do the bare minimum just to get by because they are afraid of the expectation that's going to come if they get A's or do really good.
Ooh, so then cannot maintain.
Yeah, so then there's an expectation that people are always going to expect this of me, and I want to be lazy, or I just want to coast, so I don't want to do that.
Wow.
But if you're called in favor, if your life is anointed, you have no choice. You can either do it the easy way or be like Jonah, show up with throw up on you. You know what I mean? So you either way, you're gonna do it anyway. So you might as well do it and do it in peace and do it in God's time, so that that things are done the right way. So overcome your paralysis. Sometimes we can overanalyze a situation. What's this? Why is this? Who is this? Where is this? We ask so many questions. There's nothing wrong with asking questions, but sometimes God is just like, hey, I'm getting ready to take you to another level, or the universe has already called for you to be there. It's just waiting on you. So now you're ready to up level and you're overanalyzing. Well, I'm not feeling good, or this ain't feeling right, or he's removing people, and you're like, well, why is he removing these things? Because where I'm getting ready to take you, they're not going to still be your friend.
That feels lonely for sure.
It definitely feels lonely.
For sure.
Definitely. So that leads me to the next one. What's the next thing? Make sure you keep yourself in the right company. Number three, be in the right company. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future.
That's right. Because, energetically, financially, always, whatever you around, you pretty much are going to be doing the same thing. They say you make within 50,000 to 100,000 of your five closest friends. Whatever they're talking about, whatever their energy's bringing into your space is going to be what's permissible.
No doubt. So you want to be an entrepreneur. It's probably best that you get around some entrepreneur friends.
Or those that don't, kill your dream. They may, for instance, hey, we've seen LeBron James and Kevin Hart. Now, when they made it, all their friends weren't there with them, but they gave them the means. What you said, LeBron sent all his boys to school.
That's right.
Kevin built his team. So everybody may not be there at the same time, but if they have the mindset to go with you, then let's move. But if you hold me back, then I don't have to drop you, but I don't have to be with you every day. I got to reposition you.
And I always say, be mindful of the people in your so-called circle that don't celebrate you when you do good. Be mindful of them. They may not hate or frown or complain, but they don't celebrate. Be mindful of those people that don't celebrate you. They are probably, as I often say, not your people. They're probably not your people. Number 4, refuse to be denied. We're talking about being in the breakthrough. Refuse to be denied. When it's your time and you know it's your time and God has called you to be up level, refuse to be denied. Say, nope's not an answer during this time because I'm trying to up level. I'm trying to get to the, wait a minute might be an answer, but no is not an answer. You know what I'm saying?
Delay is okay, but I'm not going to be denied, right?
I'm not going to be denied, no doubt. So refuse to be denied. And number 5, the last one, and you may want to add some more to this, or, you may want to do this, and we'll recap for some of you that's just coming on. What's the last one? Number 5, remove
the lid of human limitation.
Remove the lid of human limitation. A lot of times, I stopped in my life now, for me, I stopped praying for abundance. Abundance has always been there, will always be there, and is always going to be there even if you leave, right?
Okay, so you're saying you don't even pray for abundance anymore because it's already there for the taking.
It's already there.
It's just a matter of if you see it or not.
What I'm praying for now is, God, help me to get past my human limitations. Because my limitations are what holds me from the abundance that's already there. He put all of it there for all of us. Abundance. It's already there, right? It doesn't need to be recreated or created or established. It's already there.
That's why Wayne Dyer says you'll see it when you believe it.
There it is.
It's already there. All right, y'all. So I mean, that's why for my biblical folks, that's why when she touched the hem of the garment, the blood stopped. The healing was already there for the taking.
It was already there. It was just she just had to have the faith to go and do it. It's all your abundance for all of you is what it is, and for some of us, and I talked about this too in church one time about us checking the lens that we look through, the perception. There is a perception that it's not there. But if you just take those glasses off that have been dirtied or muddy, or sometimes you just need to clean them off, right? My godmother, Mother Booker says, everybody around me smelled cleaner once I took a bath. Wow. I love that, right? So what she was saying was, once I checked in and checked with me and washed me up, my perception of everybody else and everything else and all of these situations around me started to look different. It started to look better. We have to make sure that our looking glass, the way we see life, is not tainted. And a lot of times it's tainted from our past, from maybe our present, somebody else.
Your emotional state. If you're in the wrong emotional state. I've been in a funky mood and read a text or an email wrong and had to go back and read it. And I was like, oh my God, it didn't even read like I thought it did. So I mean, you got to even just check your daily mood and your daily temperament. And the goal is to get in that spiritual mindset and not be ruled by those things. Those things aren't bad, but you can't be ruled by them.
And that's why meditation. And so for you who don't really understand and don't know, that's why meditation is so important. Not necessarily prayer, because prayer a lot of time is me going to God and asking for intercession. But meditating is quieting my mind and the things around me and the things that's going on and listening for an answer and listening for direction, listening for clarity of something that I'm going through. So that's why meditation is so important, because I can start to hopefully still my emotions and then listen. Because if I'm caught up in anger or anxiousness, or if I'm afraid and God is saying, wait a minute, don't be afraid, don't be anxious, don't be nervous. Get away from that pride. I'm getting ready to up-level you. I'm getting ready to move you from the 5th floor to the 10th floor. But you're afraid, so you won't even get on the elevator. Matter of fact, you don't even see the elevator because your fear and pride has you bound. So you're sitting there like, I can't do it. This life, it ain't good. Meditate. Calm down. Shh. Quiet. And allow him to talk. And then you'll say, okay, wait a minute. Okay, God. And so a lot of times in situations, then you begin to change complaining to, what is it that you want me to see in these circumstances?
I like that.
You know what I mean? What is it that you want me to see? What is it that you want me to hear? What is it that you want me to do? Who are the people you want me to surround myself with? Because I've been doing it. I've been doing it my way for so long. And my way hasn't up-leveled me yet. So obviously I need to go outside of me to get something to help me to see me better. You know what I mean?
Right. And that is really the definition of being still, is getting out of your own mind, your own thoughts, your own words. And so some people out there may struggle with meditation, but if you can, if it is, one of my mentors, Rest in Power, he used to say even the wandering mind can meditate. But it's really about being conscious enough to be still. Some people do not have the ability to be still. I've been there though. Like I've been in the middle of a prayer and then just I'm off. My mind is off, or in the middle of a meditation. But what you want to do is you're training the muscle to recognize even when you do wander. Because some people aren't conscious when they're not in the presence of, when they're not in control. They're not conscious. So you're training yourself to become more conscious. And then when you do become more conscious, in that way, you start to understand when you're hearing. So... there we go.
That's awesome. That is so awesome. So let's go back and just recap, right? So waiting on your breakthrough. 5 things that you want to try to do. You want to make room for God. You want to overcome your paralysis. You want to be in the right company. You want to refuse to be denied. And last but not least, remove the lid of human limitations. Whatever those limitations are in your life, you want to get rid of them or ask somebody outside of you, how can they help you get rid of those limitations? Those are our 5 things. Before we leave, we want to announce tonight who our random person that shared some of our videos in the past. We talked about it last week. We want to announce that person. Somebody said, oh yeah, Auntie said we most often block our own way and prevent ourselves from trying something new. Oh man. Chris says in order for God to bring something new, he has to disrupt the normal. Ooh. And we get so afraid of what we think is abnormal. So afraid of what we think is abnormal, unusual, when God is saying, when I get you here, you're going to see this is the norm for everybody that's there. It's just abnormal for you because you've been used to being in that place. Right. But when I get you here, oh man, it's some Big Sean say blessings on top of blessings. Boy, I love that. I love that song. Blessings on top of blessings on top of blessings with your name on it. But you gotta be ready. You gotta be ready. So
okay, so we went back to our past 3 videos. We saw that Carolyn, Eddie, Rashad, Danielle, Eunice, Donnie, Danita, and Tasha had shared our last 3 videos.
No doubt.
So I put all those names in a random name picker, and we are going to Carolyn.
All right, Carolyn. So
I don't know if y'all can see that.
So if she's not on, we'll reach out to her, and we got a gift certificate for Carolyn. And we're going to continue to do some of these things. So please share our videos. Let people know that we out here. Hopefully one day we can get on a bigger platform. But follow us at TheCoreofU. CORE of the letter U. CORE stands for Community of Restoration and Enlightenment. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we even have a YouTube, all right?
A YouTube channel, yeah, TheCoreofU, all together.
TheCoreofU on YouTube.
And we appreciate you guys. We're all up leveling. We love when people put comments. Chris Williams just said, God don't want us worrying about anything. Philippians 4:6.
No doubt.
Look at this. If you ever been in our group discussions, you know we feed off of one another.
No doubt.
And we're learning from one another, iron sharpening iron.
Yep. I love it. Thanks for that, bro. I love that. He doesn't want us to worry. My sister often sings in her songs, when you pray, don't worry. And if you're going to worry, you might as well not pray. Because what you're saying is, I'm going to continue to worry because, God, you don't know what you're doing. I said I'm going to give it to you, but I'm going to take a little bit of it back anyway. And if worrying solved anything, y'all know what we could do? We could get together on a Saturday and have a worry session. If worrying solves it, we could get together and say on Zoom and say, all right, guys, whatever your problems are, we're going to have a worry session over those problems. And we hope that this worry session will wipe all of those problems out for us. So meet us at this time for this worry session. Well, that doesn't work. It doesn't work that way, right? So we're going to have to make sure we stay prayed up and make sure that you prepare yourself for what God has in store for you.
That's it.
Is that all right?
Preparation.
Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Hey, we hope that you enjoyed the conversation today. We hope that you share the conversation with your friends and family and anybody else on your page. Here at TheCoreofU, we're here every Friday. We're going to try to stay consistent. Try to stay on top of this every Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. East Coast time.
All right. We love you guys.
Love you guys. Peace.